Many years ago, many moons ago, I was a personal trainer. I know. Can you believe it? This guy was a personal trainer, and I was actually a strength and conditioning coach as well. I've always struggled with my fitness and with my self image. I've actually probably been traumatized of taking my shirt off in front of other people at the pool. It's like my biggest trauma is taking my shirt off in front of everyone. I hate it. I literally hate it. It's like one of those things where you like are walking up and you can see the pool and you can see everyone's about to have the time of their life and you're just like walking over there. You're like, oh fuck, man, I'm gonna have to take my shirt off. I hate it. I've struggled with it my whole life. And I can think back on really small events throughout my life that I'm sure have traumatized me, obviously traumatized me. But I remember going to different stores with my mom, like J.C. Penney or like Woolworths or Sears, like just like random stores from back in my day to go buy clothing. And I remember like nothing ever fit because I had such a fat ass, you know? And that was always the case. It was just, I was always a bigger kid. And no doubt I had really bad eating habits. I remember eating Pop Tarts and thinking that that was like lunch and like CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and tortillas, like freaking legit Mexican, like a thing of beauty, flour tortillas with just butter and just jelly and tortilla and that's it. That's what I would eat. And I just thought all of that stuff was normal. Like that was just the normal diet. But I was always aware that like I wasn't fit and that I wasn't happy with my body. I just didn't know how to stop it or like what to do about it. You just weren't educated enough about food to like really make, adequate decisions for yourself, to be honest with you. As a kid, I was just ignorant. And somehow like my life, led me into being a personal trainer and I think a big part of it too for me was, high school, middle school, high school, junior high sports. Getting into football and training and learning how to power lift and all of that stuff really helped a lot, for me to be aware of like the things that we can do if we stay committed to our body and to our health. And so there was that early on, which was kind of the first time that I was just kind of like, oh shit, like maybe maybe the things that I eat like impact the way that my body looks and how healthy I feel and all of that stuff. That was probably like the beginning, like a little nugget of like, there's something might be here that I need to look into. And as I got, older, I cared more about my health for vanity reasons. And man, I cannot tell you the amount of times I have gone through my camera roll and I have seen pictures of when I was going to start on a fitness journey. Right? So it was like my before picture and I would take my fat picture and I'd be like, "Oh, this is going to look so fucking cool when I come back in 6 months and I show everybody how fucking ripped I am." And then that after picture never came, right? And then I would take another before picture and another and another and another. And man, right now I went through my camera roll the other day and I favorited every single time I did that. There are more than 300, I would guess 300 pictures. Shit, I'm going to check right now just so that I know for a fact how many pictures are in that album because I think that I can't be alone in this. I feel like so many of us have likely done this. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Guys, there are literally more than 300 pictures here. I mean, easily. I wish I knew how many there were. Like, how is it that I can check? Select, and then select them all, I guess. Let me see here. How do I select them all? I don't know how to select them all, guys, but trust me, there are more than 300 pictures here easily. And so that'll tell you the amount of times that I have tried to get here and just have not had the mental clarity, the commitment, or the discipline to do it. Now, I will say there have been times when I've gotten really fit. Definitely. I have had many times in my life where I've committed it to it for a short amount of time and gotten myself in really good shape. Primarily when I was a trainer, when I was a strength and conditioning coach. I think that was probably around the time that I got the fittest. I was doing a lot of CrossFit. I was coaching CrossFit. I was getting to the point where I could do like a muscle up. I could do pistol squats. I was in pretty good shape, like not, crazy shape. I didn't have abs or cut up or anything like that. But for me, it was definitely the best that I had done. I think I was probably like 190 pounds around that time. But I was so focused. I mean, that's all I thought about was health and fitness and wellness. And essentially, one of the things that kind of convinced me to start posting about this and to have this conversation is that when I was a trainer, I used to have a ton of clients, and at that time, it still hadn't clicked to me how difficult it is for people to make a commitment to being healthy and to working out. And I remember having clients and just listening to their excuses about why they didn't make it to a workout or why they didn't work out in between their sessions with me. And I remember there were times that I just kind of rolled my eyes and thought like, ugh, like another excuse. Yeah, like another excuse, just that kind of mentality I think I had in my mind. And I loved all my clients, and I definitely, this is not to disparage them, it's just that I didn't realize what they were going through, because when I was a personal trainer, that was my life. I mean, it was easy. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, trained my first client at 5, trained my last client like at 7 or 8 p.m. I mean, that was all of my life. 10,000 steps, are you kidding me? That was done by like 9 a.m. And when I left training and went into mortgage, that's where kind of everything fell apart for me. I started going from an intensely active lifestyle to being completely and totally sedentary, right? And I think at that time when I got into mortgage, I was maybe like 190-ish pounds, 195, let's say. I was good. I was decent. I wasn't, again, not jacked or anything, but I was in good shape. I was a very healthy person at that time. And slowly but surely, the stress of working in mortgage took over. And I started eating like crazy. And I wasn't working out. I wasn't moving around during the day. I was literally doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. This was my day for 8 hours. That was it. And if you think about it, laying in bed, waking up, getting ready, getting in my car and sitting in my car, driving to my office, sitting in my office, and then sitting in my car, coming back to the house, getting out of the car, and sitting on my couch. And so if you think about an entire day, the times that I moved were between my bed and the bathroom, the garage in my car, the parking lot in my office, and back, and then basically the garage back to my house. I mean, you're talking about, 100 steps? And that never resonated to me while it was happening, because you're just so focused on this new career and wanting to get it going and doing the right things. And I did, in terms of mortgage, I was really happy. I created a business, and I was so happy. It was thriving. But it was coming at a really, really severe cost. And for the first time, maybe, I don't know, a few years ago, I remembered thinking like, damn, this is what my clients were talking about. Like these are the things that they were referencing as getting home and feeling so mentally fried that the idea of like working out was insane. And then for many years, I tried to work out in the morning. But my God, when business was crazy busy, it would be like 6 o'clock and clients were already texting me about wanting numbers or like needing this, or a realtor needed that. And so it was really hard for me to just stay at a gym and work out, because it was like, God, I need to do this already. I need to hurry up and get going. And then I would say to myself, okay, I'm going to work out at night instead. But then at night I was too fried, or I was too tired mentally. I didn't want to work out, so I didn't do it. And then all of those years, lead to this. Now, there are other things that happen along the way, of course. I went through a separation, which was very, the most painful thing that you could possibly imagine. And that, without a doubt, in and of itself, the pain and my reaction to that pain, the decisions that I made to like bury myself in alcohol and bury myself in social activities and going out and trying to get validation, to fill the void that was in like my heart, were all the wrong decisions. And so without a doubt, there are all kinds of different things that we're all going through, right? We might be going through a divorce. We might be going through, stressful situation at home. We might have just lost our job. Somebody might have passed away, there are 8 million things that could possibly be keeping you from the goals and the ideas that you have. And what my hope is in producing this and sharing this with everyone is to let y'all know that it's okay. Like, it's okay that you're going through those things, and that you should try to probably love yourself a little bit. One of the things that I absolutely 100% want to avoid in all of this is what I typically see when it comes to channels that dedicate themselves to health and wellness. And it was also something that was true when I was a coach, like this militant sort of like, fucking no more excuses, you bitch, get it done, and all of that shit. There's a time and a place for that, primarily in athletics, I feel like. If you're in a sport and you're competing, when I was coaching football, yeah, get your ass to fucking work, you know what I mean? But I do want to have a little bit more grace in this channel and in the message that I want to share, because I've now lived the experience that many of my clients had, and I understand the challenges in a very, very different way. Whereas before it was extremely easy to wake up when I didn't have a child. It was easy to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and show up and then be there at 9. I didn't have shit else to do. I didn't have to take care of anyone. I didn't have responsibilities outside of my goals and my fitness and my clients and all of that. You add a kid into that mix, it's going to throw things off a little bit, right? If you add, a parent that you have to take care of, it's going to throw things off a little bit. You throw in a fucking puppy Doberman and you're shot to hell. Throw in a divorce on top of that. Throw in, losing a ton of money, the real estate market falling apart, the stress, having to let go of employees, switching companies. Shit, the list goes on and on. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so have a little grace, take a breather. Right? I've had a lot. But I think more than anything, what I want to remind you of is that there is something to be balanced here. And you could think of the divorce that's going on in your life as the reason. You could think of the kid that's out there, that your kid that isn't quite doing great at school, or that's challenging you. Or you could think about the fact that your business isn't going so well. You could think about someone that has, failing health, which I would say, those are situations that are very difficult that I've been through too. But what I want to help you all do is to try to help you put your foot in the ground and to make the commitment that is necessary to live the life that you want. For all of us, that's different. For me, one of the biggest parts of my goal is just being as healthy as a 42, 43-year-old single dad can possibly be. This is not it. I want to quit drinking. I want to quit smoking. I want to exercise on the regular, right? I don't need to be jacked. I don't need to have a six pack. That's not what this is about. But this is definitely not what I want my life to be. And so I want you all to start thinking about those things that you do want, right? What are the things that matter to you? Is it your physical fitness? Is it getting rid of, vaping? I'll tell you one thing right now, it should definitely be that. Should definitely quit vaping. But I want you to start thinking about what vision you have in your mind for the kind of life that you truly want. Some of you may be living it already, and that's wonderful. Stay on it. Keep doing it. But I would bet that if you're watching this still, that you're likely not. And I know that in order to attain and to sustain the life that I want, it starts completely and wholeheartedly 1000% with me and my health, right? I need to stop vaping. I absolutely need to stop drinking, and I absolutely need to start eating better, and I absolutely 100% need to start exercising on the regular. And I also need to build a plan for what I'm going to do when I get there, because I'm not so concerned about being able to get to that point. I am concerned about maintaining it and sustaining it, because I've been there before. I'm not that worried about getting fit. I know what it takes. You eat healthy, you exercise on the regular, and you just do it over and over and over again, right? You stay committed. I want you to take time to take a pen and write down what you have as a vision for what you want your life to be. And then I want you to take time and write down what are the things that are likely to get in your way, right? What are the obstacles? And right now I think of, for example, some of the things that are going to be in my way. And those are things like the holidays, Thanksgiving's around the corner, Christmas, New Year's, right? Football, right? There's a lot of things that are going to be an obstacle, but I want you to start mentally preparing for them and acknowledging that they're on the horizon, because there's no ignoring that there are going to be reasons, there are going to be things that are going to get in the way of you accomplishing the things that you want. And then I also want you to do something very special. I want you to spend some time writing down the excuses that you have made for not accomplishing the goals that you have as well. So there are real life obstacles that get in our way. The holidays are real. That's a real thing. They happen every year, right? Football games are going to happen. Birthdays are going to happen. Whatever social event, a trip, whatever, all of those things happen. They are real life things that happen. But I want you to start thinking about the excuses that you have made. I'm going to give you an example of the ones that I have. My favorite one and the most common one is, I'll start on Monday. Like, I'm just going to enjoy this weekend and then I'll start on Monday. But then on Monday, I will do it. I'll really actually do it. But then Monday comes around, doesn't it? It does. And then you don't actually really do it, right? Because you're like, well, Friday's only a couple days away. I can just wait till Friday and then maybe I'll start the Monday after that, right? And then another excuse might be like, well, I don't have the food in the fridge that I need to eat healthy. So like, I'm just going to eat this leftover pizza that I froze a couple weeks back because I didn't want to throw it away. I'm going to unfreeze it and I'm going to put it in the oven and I'm going to eat that today because I don't have healthy food. And then I'll just get back on it on Monday, right? So those are excuses, right? Another example of an excuse could be, well, I haven't seen that person in a long time, Gosh, I haven't seen homeboy like in 2 or 3 months, and since I'm seeing him and I don't see them that often, I mean, this has to be an okay moment for me to not be committed to the goals and the dreams that I have, right? Sure, of course. And I'll tell you what, usually homeboy agrees. Today's a great day to not care about and or be committed to the goals and the dreams that you have, right? I want you to start thinking about those, and I want you to start writing these down. For the time being, what I want to do is simply share my journey, the obstacles that get in the way of the commitment that I have made, and the excuses that I generally hear myself make, but that I will not moving forward. I'm excited about it. I really am, because there's something in my heart that feels like this is different and unique for some reason. I mean, I know right now, even saying that sounds ridiculous, because I know there are so many people out there that have channels that have, you know, whatever, talked about all of this. But you know what? Fuck it. This is my story. I have spent my entire life wondering what it could feel like to take my shirt off at a pool and have a sense of pride about what other people see. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? It sounds crazy to think that I would care that much about what other people think, but I realize that it's not about what they think. It's about how I feel. Like how I feel. That I would feel confident and that I would feel proud of having taken care of my body enough that I would not have any issue or second thought about showing it to other people. It's crazy. It's crazy. Something so small and so simple that has like literally ingrained itself in my brain as something that has traumatized me my whole life. Now, there are obviously a ton of other benefits from doing this that I care more about, that are ultimately way more important. I think about my daughter. I think about the fact that the drinking and the poor diet, and in particular the vaping, are potentially going to rob her from years and years of life experience with her dad. That is also something, it's honestly probably the biggest motivator here. Um, I lost my dad way too young, way too early. And I'm thankful that I had enough of a life experience. My dad was 60 something, early 60s, 62 maybe, somewhere around there, I forget, when he passed. And so I was fortunate enough that I got to be around my dad a lot, and that I feel like he taught me and prepared me to be a young man, a good man. Maybe not a perfect man, but a good man overall. But a lot of us don't. A lot of us lost our parents really young. And I refuse to let that be the story that my daughter would have to live. That she would have to lose her dad young because her dad was too fucking stupid and uncommitted and undisciplined to get himself healthy, to stop vaping and to stop drinking and to stop eating frozen pizzas that he put in the fridge weeks ago because he was too lazy and uncommitted, distracted, and disorganized to make sure to have healthy food in his fridge. That will not be my story. And so I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, because it has been way too easy in the past to start and fail knowing that nobody would ever know. And so part of what is really crazy about this for me is that I know there are no excuses. Not anymore. So I hope you stick with me throughout the journey. I hope you find it helpful and useful. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited to share all of this stuff with you. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Peace.